Hello and welcome to Tempus Irae. This is the first Italy level called Gates of Delirium. So what I'm doing here is I am examining the new textures that I've created for the game. So if I seem to stop and stare oddly at some things, it's because I'm basically trying to observe the textures. Essentially, I am looking at the new depth map capability that Aleph One allows map makers and texture makers to have in their game. So what this does is it gives the textures kind of a dimensional quality. Instead of looking like just simple flat walls, they have parts of them that appear to stick out or push in. I'm also going to stop and admire some of the artwork that we encounter along the way. Now, I'm going to explain something here that might not mean anything to anyone, but the game engine has 5 distinct texture sets that a level designer can build his levels around. So this particular texture set is called the sewage set. Now, the name of this texture set really has very little to do with what's actually going on in the level, but it does determine the kind of fluid that would be available. So fluids or texture sets that you have available to you have things such as water or sewage or lava or a fluid called jarro, which we just used as a different type of sewage, and something called coolant, which is used primarily in the spaceship levels. So each fluid has a slightly different property to it, or at least a different visual aspect to it. There are no fluids in this particular level because I didn't feel like sewage was appropriate to a monastery and library, which is what basically this level is built around. Now in this room is Da Vinci's Last Supper, and I upgraded the graphics on this because this game is supposed to take place during Leonardo's lifetime, and I didn't feel like it made sense to have a crumbling, peeling painting when this was supposed to have taken place during his lifetime. I did that generally with almost all the artwork encountered so far in the game. Basically kind of spiffed them up, brightened up the colors, and fixed some fading problems, and so on, trying to make these paintings look like they were contemporary to Da Vinci's lifetime. Now, we're about to enter a section of the map that takes place in a hedge maze. So in particular, we're looking at pebbles on the ground, we're looking at the leaves and the hedges, and I'm evaluating the depth in the texture map that I was able to achieve with this new bump map effect. So far so good. I'm very pleased with how things are turning out. Some of these doors that I'm opening up here simply connect later parts of the level to earlier parts of the level in case you need to go back and locate something you left behind. So what we're looking for right here is a key. There is a key that opens a door that we're going to encounter later on. And the key is in this little gazebo-like structure in the center of the maze. So I'm about to grab it now and head towards the conclusion of this level. Since this is an earlier part of the game, the level is pretty straightforward. There aren't a lot of places that you can wander off and get lost in. And generally speaking, the enemies that you encounter are of lower difficulty type. And yeah, so this is both basically give you a little introduction to the game world and kind of a chance to find your footing in this new world and not present too much of a challenge to the player. That will come later. All right, now we're going to head up into the library area here and find the thing we're looking for. In this area here is a texture I'm quite proud of, the bookcase with the books in it. I had quite a time trying to get the books to look three-dimensional, but I think I've succeeded now. It came out quite successfully once I figured out what to do. All right, now we're looking for the secret hidden book. There we go. I've upgraded all of the scenery, objects, and items that you can pick up in the game, including this Leonardo manuscript, which has now a nice new shiny gold leaf on it. Okay, now we're going to head to the exit. And I have to say I'm pretty happy with how all this artwork turned out. And once I've completed this demo, I'm moving on to the water set. And I've probably got about 50% of that done already. So the next demo video I will be posting will be demonstrating that texture set. There's a guy skulking around in here. He's hiding in the chair. There we go. And there's the exit showing the new 3D animated teleporter texture. I wanted it to kind of look like you were about to walk into a microwave. I wanted it to look a little painful. Anyway, and we're going to have a quick look at the new fireplace texture here. I think it turned out pretty well, considering I only had 14 frames to play with. All right, thank you.